Hey there, guys, and welcome back to the Travis and Damian Podcast, episode 31. We are available on anchor.fm/Travis Damian Podcast, along with iTunes, Spotify, and many more. Today, we're going to talk about the general news, including the Animal Crossing Direct, and then we're going to get into our recent activities, and then lastly, we're going to talk about the new My Hero movie, Heroes Rising. So first, the Animal Crossing Direct. This was a pretty big thing that happened February 21st, so... what was that, a week? Yeah, it's about a week ago.
Like last week, yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I just watched it. But what did you think about it when you,
Honestly,
saw it?
There was some good information, but it was really just a lot of things from New Leaf. I don't know. I feel like I was watching it. And even now, I can't really remember a lot of the things they said. Because it's just you could do that in New Leaf, but it's now it's a little expanded upon. So, that's cool. It's cool with people who never played New Leaf, but... the direct overall was good, but it wasn't too much new information, at least to me anyway.
Yeah. When it comes to me personally, it's just a super refined and updated New Leaf, like you said. But now it's on the Switch, and they have other features and things like that. So the North and Southern Hemisphere is very interesting.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I think most people are gonna do the Northern Hemisphere, and some people are gonna be nah, screw it. I'm gonna mess with the seasons or whatever. But 8 players on an island, which
that's a lot. And everyone can have their own house, I think, right? You just have your own plot of land or whatever. Or is that only local? There's 2 different things. You can have a local one where everyone plays on one console. If you have a big family or whatever, or you could do you could just invite 8 people, and I think they could if you set them to best friends, they could help you around your island and stuff like that.
They could wreak havoc. They could just put holes everywhere if they want.
Yeah, they could do that if you want, but you have to allow them to do it. So that's pretty nice. There was some new things the Nook mileage thing, where I think you don't have to pay Nook bells in this game. I don't think you just pay him in that
in the
that
miles
currency.
Yeah.
So
and then
that's kind of nice.
The house is bells, I believe.
Yeah. And then the whole mileage thing is pretty cool because it gives you goals to do, which is pretty nice.
It's quests.
It's quests, and you get different items and currency and stuff like that. So that's cool. There's a lot of new villagers and stuff like that. You could go to there's some feature where you could go to a different island and just farm materials and stuff like that and recruit more boys. So that's pretty cool. It could use the online app, remember that?
Oh my god. All right, so when that popped up, when I just watched it, I was like, oh my fucking god, we're still using this? We're still trying to use this stupid app? And then I saw it was for voice and text, and I was just man, can you imagine people shit talking on Animal Crossing chat? that would be some content right there. Yo, what up, bitch? What the fuck you doing here?
Why you scared away the fish?
It's bro, what the fuck, man? You messed me up. But the
only useful thing I see about the phone app is the AR codes or whatever, where you get the custom designs and things like that. Because I know New Leaf could do that, but I think that was built into the 3DS because you had a camera. So I guess this is how they're gonna do it for New Horizons. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
and I guess it just show. You can just build up the island, but that's just how it was in New Leaf anyway. More people will come to the main street and stuff like that. So
just a lot more customization features is what I noticed, and they're gonna continue supporting the game after it comes out. So the first update they announced was March 20th, so that's pretty close to the release of it.
I think that is the release date, isn't it?
Maybe.
I think this game
could be fucking wrong. I don't know, man. I honestly this game is. That is the release date. Yeah. But people are so hyped for it, and I'm just man, I'm excited for it, but this shit, man, it's gonna take so much of my time if I actually do sit down and play it, sort of thing. So I'm kind of just do I buy it or do I don't? Because I know legit everyone that has a Switch is probably gonna buy it and enjoy it, which props to them, because this game is probably gonna be super duper fun and give you definitely a year's worth of content throughout the entire year. But the 8 players on an island, I'm still on that, because I'm not sure if is that actually gonna be stable, or is it gonna be lag issues or frame rate drops or something like that? Because there has to be some sort of loophole there. I'm not convinced that feature is perfect. So
yeah, remember the Mario Maker 2 stuff? Yeah, that didn't work out so well. So yeah, I'd probably break after like after the fourth player. Like it's just like, nah, we can't do this anymore.
Yeah, and like they all have to be on like the same screen or no? I don't know.
I think they have to be on the same screen when it's like that weird local like family mode.
Yeah.
Because you like choose a leader or whatever. I think in online you can just do whatever you want.
Okay, but yeah.
But yeah, basically it's just New Leaf but better. I mean that's great. Like that's kind of what I wanted anyway. But a direct I'm never gonna buy it anyway. So I'm like, all right, that was nice to know like what they're updating to like the game and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, pretty much giving you or telling you everything that like slightly changed or like what's new and this and that. Jumping over the rivers and stuff like that and like creating streams and whatnot, like that was very interesting. Like there's just more customization features and just like more freedom for the player to do, which is super nice. It's really just about customization. Like even like making the house, like it's like the Happy Home Designer where you could like just like full on just customize it. Like you don't have like pull benches or whatever, like it was like super annoying to do in New Leaf. So that's nice that they have that feature now. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So yeah. All right, so the next piece of news, and I totally forgot that this was still happening. Tom Holland said Uncharted has the solution to the video game movie problem. So according to him, and it is a good point that with most video game movies, it kind of just assumes you already know like the characters and things like that, or whatever plot like points they're doing. Like I guess with a Sonic movie, like you already know who Sonic is, or with Pikachu, like Detective Pikachu, like what Pokemon is and stuff like that. With the Uncharted movie, it's supposed to be like an origins thing, so fans of it could go in, expecting like a new Uncharted story, and they're like, they could connect the dots to like future things. But it's good for newcomers because it's like, oh, there's like the origin thing, so I don't really have to know anything about the games and things like that. So I mean, it's a good point, and I totally forgot he was playing like young Drake, right? That's a thing that's happening. I forgot that was okay because I'm like, all right, but yeah, I mean, it's a good point. Like, I think, and it's kind of like problems, like even with the My Hero movie that we're gonna talk about later, like. That could both be a good thing and a bad thing depending on what it is. Like, sometimes I like it when it like the movie requires a little more knowledge of the thing because it could do more. But it's also nice to have like a nice starting point for like newcomers to like the series and stuff like that. Yeah. So like them going back and like saying like, yeah, this is like straight up like a somewhat origin story to Nathan Drake. We've had like other like prequel-ish games like Uncharted Golden Abyss on like the PS Vita, and even like Uncharted 3, it went back to like Nate's childhood to like see like where he came from and this and that. So like there's like so much like backstory stuff that we've been like diving into for this series. I wonder if they're actually gonna get it right. And Mark Wahlberg's supposed to be like Sully. So it's definitely a very interesting casting choice, but he is a very good actor in what he does. So yeah, hopefully this movie doesn't turn out to be complete garbage, because I think video game movies have been on the upswing ever since Detective Pikachu. So, and I'll talk about the Sonic movie later, but the Uncharted movie has been in one hell of a sort of like pre-production sort of like hell, where like it keeps getting delayed, losing directors, this and that. So if this one somehow is like a pretty good one where it's legit all live action and no like CG like funny characters, kudos to them. But right now I'm still like very skeptical about like what this movie can do, sort of thing.
It should be the easiest. Like it's just like freaking Indiana Jones. Like I don't know why this is so difficult.
Yeah, that's pretty much what like everyone says. Like it's literally Indiana Jones. You guys can't like mess this up. So
yeah.
But if they do, I guess we'll have to watch it, see exactly what the hell they did. But there's that. Next piece of news is that PlayStation canceled on PAX East this weekend due to the coronavirus. So fuck this virus. This shit is. This shit has actually spread so far worldwide. It's actually kind of crazy. And yeah, they like canceled that they won't be at PAX like entirely because of this. And you know what? That's reasonable. And to those people that are avoiding outdoors, now you have an excuse because you don't want to go outside because you could literally catch this shit and you wouldn't even know.
Yeah, and if you go to work, then sorry.
Yeah.
We're all going to die. But like, yeah, because I know there was another video game conference. I forget which one, but a lot of people are pulling out of that one as well. I think Microsoft just pulled out like some event as well. So yeah, a lot of companies are just like now ain't dealing with this. Mostly when PAX and like all these conventions have so many like people in them, and you don't want to be in such a tight convention center when like this stuff could potentially have like an outbreak and things like that, And now that more reports are coming in that it's like in the United States at this point, like it's just it's starting to get a little more real now, where people have to take a little more precaution to like where they are, mostly in these heavy like crowded areas and stuff like that. So
definitely,
yeah, it's
definitely.
not ain't looking good.
Yeah, it's definitely not a fun time to be living in. 2020 is so far no good.
Yeah, it's been like it's been 2 months since like everyone's already dying. I'm like, I don't know what's going on, dude.
Yep.
But here's some good news. Owners of Cyberpunk 2077 for the Xbox One will get a free Xbox Series X version. So that's really nice. This is something I kind of wanted game companies to do. Obviously they love to double down. That's the reason why they do it.
Yeah, bro, double dip, easy.
Yeah, if you buy a game like that's coming late in the console generation, there's probably going to be an enhanced version on the next console. Like if you buy something on the PS4 really late, it's probably going to have a PS5 version. Like they did that with things like Last of Us and things like that. It was like, here's the PS3 version, and then here's the enhanced PS4 version. So it's nice that Cyberpunk or CD Projekt Red is like, now you just get it for free. So that's really nice and pro-consumer. It's a step that I think a lot of companies should do, which they're not going to because they make probably way too much money off the double dipping. But again, it is a good practice. So
yeah, I remember back then when like PlayStation was still like on the Vita. When you would buy like certain like PS3 games, you would get like the Vita version for free. So like Ratchet and Clank Full Frontal Assault, I think that was one of them. Sly 4 and like a couple of other games. And I was like, that's like a pretty good way to like get people to like buy the Vita. But the problem with the Vita was that like it was just too expensive and stuff like that. But like this is like legit just like a new generation sort of thing. So like the fact that they announced this just says that, hey, if you also want to play Cyberpunk 2077, it's also going to be on these newer consoles as well, which I'm not sure if they announced that previously, but this sort of like soft confirms it that these are going to be on the newer consoles sort of thing. But this is like definitely like pro consumer, and that's like super duper good. So
yeah, and the game will probably need it because it probably won't run too well on
man.
consoles.
I will never forget GTA 5 on Xbox 360. That shit had like 2 discs, and I was like, cool.
I always forget that game was on 360 just because I'm like, it ran like trash. It was on the PS4, Xbox One. So
definitely ran better on those consoles.
Yes.
But last thing we gotta talk about in terms of news is that Platinum Games revealed another part of their like 4 platinum website. So the first part was Wonderful 101. Now the second part is a new game that they're working on, Project G.G. And yeah, and this is their first like self-published title where they aren't like they aren't following like Nintendo or like Sega or whatever. This is everything they do with this game is their say sort of thing. So that is very interesting. And the director, Hideki Kamina, he did Bayonetta and a bunch of other games beforehand. Obviously, Wonderful 101, Beautiful Joe. So whatever this game's going to be, it's definitely going to be very interesting. I hope it succeeds because, they aren't doing like Kickstarter or anything like that. They just announced that this is going to be like a self-published title, which is super cool.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited that they're starting to like really branch out now. Like they don't want the IPs owned by anyone anymore. Even though, Nintendo has been super nice to them over the past few years. I think it's good for them to like just move on to like self-publishing. I think they're big enough now. Like when people see the Platinum logo, it's like, oh, it was Platinum. So yeah, I think they'll be fine. Mostly with this weird game. Like there was a trailer for it or like a little teaser. It's just like Pacific Rim, but like with like Ultraman or something. It's just like this dude gets all big and fights like a Pacific Rim monster. It's weird. So I'm hoping it's good. I love Platinum. The last few games have all been very great. I loved Bayonetta 2 and Astral Chain and Nier. So I'm very excited to see what else they could do here. So they're like riding the wave right now. So I hope it keeps going.
Yeah. Okay, so now let's get into our recent activities. I'll go first.
Go ahead.
So we played League of Legends, or I played League of Legends XD, and we did Clash. So that's like their like newer version of like ranked 5v5s, but it's only on like the weekends or whatever. So that was fun. Except for the part when Jeffrey locked in Fiddlesticks by accident.
Nice.
I was legit our first game, and he locked it in, and we were like, "Oh fuck."
Was he a mid laner, or was he like?
We were just like, "All right, I guess I'll play it," and we obviously didn't win the game because our fucking team comp was actually complete ass from then on out, and mistakes happen, shit happens, whatever. And then this next game we got the dub because we actually picked good champions.
Is there do you do I'm sorry, what do you call it? The placement matches?
Yeah, so you have to be ranked. So the reason why I felt bad when we were playing Clash that first game was because I was like, damn son, Kofi grinded out 10 games of League, and obviously he doesn't want to play League, but he did it because we needed one more person to play. So he did it, and then the first game he has to lane with the fucking Fiddlesticks bottom, and I was like, I don't know what to do, man. I guess we're just trying to farm, and I guess we're dead because they just dove us again. So whatever. But the next game, we won, got the dub, and then the last game was kind of close. I was definitely running it down because my internet went out. So my internet went out, ran back to lane, tried to make a play, died, and then the lane was over, and I was like, I can't do anything, whatever. But you know what? Next time Clash happens, hopefully we don't get a lock-in on the Fiddlesticks. So Jeffrey's never gonna live that down. We didn't talk about it on the podcast because I guess we just forgot to add Clash to our notes or whatever. But anyways, I'll talk about these other movies before I talk about Sonic. I just wanted to watch the Toy Story movies because I bought Toy Story 3 on Blu-ray at a thrift store for $5, which is what it goes for. But the disc was super scratched up, and I was like, wait a minute, this shit's on Disney Plus. Why the hell did I spend $5 to watch this? So then I watched Toy Story 3, and then I was like, you know what, let me go and rewatch Toy Story 4. And then I was like, you know what, let me go and rewatch the other two. And I haven't watched Toy Story 1 and 2 since I was little. And I remember Toy Story 1 more vividly because that story's sort of easier to follow as a child. Because Toy Story 2 has the elements about the collector and things like that, which I understand now, but as a kid I was like, why is this guy in a box? I was like, what the fuck's going on? Oh yeah, and then the stupid chicken, he had the Owl's Barnyard and all that other stuff. Yeah. But definitely a lot of nostalgia for that movie. And I was just like, screw it, I guess I'll just watch Toy Story. And then I watched To All the Boys I Loved or something, P.S. I Love You, which is the second movie in this series sort of thing. So these are based on books, and this is the second movie of the second book or whatever. And I only watched it because my brother was like, I want to watch it again, and I was like, all right, I guess I'll just watch it tonight. Or not tonight, but whenever we had that conversation. So I watched it, and I was like, this is not as good as the first one. Nowhere near as good as the first one. They super simplify the female character Laura Jean, which is the main protagonist that you follow throughout both of these movies. And I don't know, but she just felt super unlikable in this second movie, which was weird. And I was like, I don't like you anymore.
Oh my God.
And then the guy, I forget his name in the movie, but he was just trying his best out here, and she was just giving him all this shit, and I was like, what the hell's going on here? I get it was her first relationship, so she was trying to keep it together, but I'm like, you're doing all these things and I don't agree with it, whatever. It's a goddamn Netflix movie. All right, so about the Sonic movie. Saw that shit 2 weeks ago on Valentine's Day, obviously, because I was with the boys.
Just watching the Sonic movie.
Yeah, I went to see it with John, who graduated with us, and now I work with him. And I saw it with his friends, and I was just like, all right, I have no real expectations going into this, but let's see how this goes. I already did a quick video on it on my main channel, so it's gonna be kind of a recap, but I'm gonna put a little bit more detail into it because the movie's been out for a while. But yeah, the movie's good, honestly. As a video game movie and as a Sonic movie, it's honestly pretty good. you know, like if you're like a hardcore Sonic fan and you're like super like nitpicky about like certain things, like just get over it. Fucking grow up. It's a goddamn kids movie. It was made for kids, for Sonic fans as well, and like you can't like take it as like, you know, it has to be like this sort of thing. Like you can't. You just have to take it for what it is what I'm just saying.
Right.
In like actual words or whatever I'm trying to say here. But yeah, like Sonic, like he's very much like how he is in the games. He's kind of dumb, but you know, he's witty, he's funny.
I know he flosses.
Oh my god, okay. So that scene in the movie, when I walked out of the theater with John's friends, I was like, look guys, if that shit's not a GIF by tomorrow, I give up. Because I know the internet and that shit's going to be a GIF. And guess what happened? Like 20 minutes later, one of John's friends, Jonathan, he also graduated with us. Jonathan pulls out his phone. He's like, look, it's right there. It's just Sonic flossing. I was like, holy shit. The internet's so fast. And someone knew. They were like, I bet second viewing, I'm going to record this shit and GIF it. And it's going to be all over Twitter. And it was. And I was like, yes. But you know what? That's just how they want Sonic to be in this like sort of like universe, which is fine, you know, super fun, super like, you know, kid friendly sort of thing. Right. You know, for God's sakes, he interacts with a dog and that shit was funny, like whatever. And you know, the human characters, I forget the goddamn cop's name already, but you know what? It's a Sonic movie, so he's like a side character, but he was tolerable. I will say that. He has like his own like little side story going on there about like leaving like the town that he's in, Green Hills, and like he wants to like, you know, go to like a bigger town and like do like bigger and better things. But you know, Sonic teaches him, you know, the value of, you know, I guess the little things in life and whatever. I'm not exactly sure what like Sonic was trying to like teach him there, like why Sonic was like super pissed that he was leaving Green Hills. But I was just like, all right, I'm gonna just roll with it. And like by the end of the movie, I like really enjoyed myself. Like it was honestly a super fun movie. Obviously Jim Carrey, everyone knew that he was gonna steal the goddamn show, and he did. He did a great Dr. Eggman. And yeah, I mean, with the end credit scene, which I will not spoil, they're probably gonna make another one because this movie did super duper well box office wise. Like this is the most successful video game movie adaptation to date. And I'm not surprised that it's Sonic, especially since they went through all of the trouble to redesign the character. And you know Joel, right? He also graduated with us, bro. He's one of the people that had the fucking theory that they did the shit Sonic so like they could get more publicity. And like I think there are certain things in the movie that are also Sonic related. So like if you know Sonic things, you'll be like, oh, okay, I know who that is and I know what that is, sort of thing. And like they don't look like shit. So when we got in the car, I was like, you know what, Joe, maybe you got a point. Because like Sonic obviously looked better, and like all of those things that like I'm like talking about. And if you watch the movie, you know what I'm talking about by like, oh, that thing in the beginning or like that thing in the post credit scene didn't look like shit. So why did Sonic look like shit from the beginning? It's probably because like they just didn't know what the fuck they were doing, honestly. And then when Tyson Hess came in and the other people that were like, all right, you need to like clean this shit up because like you guys did a like really bad job of Sonic. They probably like touched all of those other things up as well. Like that's just what I think, because why the fuck would they throw away all of this money just to like get some like more publicity? Because the movie was gonna do well either way, because it's a goddamn Sonic movie. Like Sonic, like bad Sonic games still sell well, sort of thing, you know?
Yeah, I mean, Sonic is very recognizable to like a lot of younger kids still, which is weird to me, like how relevant Sonic still is. So I mean, and to, you know, I already know what the end credits thing is because I got spoiled. I don't really care though, but I'm not gonna say it. But you know, yeah, they probably did it just to match the art style with the new Sonic. Like, you know, if you have like nightmare fuel other people, it will look weird. So they're like, okay, we might as well touch this up as well because, you know, Sonic looks, you know, how he should. So I mean, that's what I think. So yeah,
and like there's obviously like certain other things within the movie that I didn't like touch on. Like how the rings are used, like jumps through like different portals and like different dimensions and stuff like that. Yeah, it's like super weird, but I was just like, all right, like that's how they want to use the rings. That's how they want to use the rings, whatever, you know. I'm not gonna question it. And like, you know, the whole like beginning stuff, which I think people have talked about a lot, with like Sonic has like an actual like backstory and stuff like that.
Yeah,
like people wanted more of that, and I was just like, I was fine with like the 5 to 10 minutes we got. But you know what? If they did explore more of that definitely would have been interesting. But, you know, hopefully in like the sequels, because they're going to make fucking sequels to this, we get more insight on like Sonic's backstory and like the other people within the Sonic universe, because there's so many different characters within the Sonic world. So, yeah, that's pretty much my little rant on the Sonic movie. It's good. Like, if you have time to see it, go see it in theaters. If not, just wait for it on Blu-ray. It'll probably be on a streaming service one of these days, but yeah.
Yeah, I'll probably watch that. I still need to watch Detective Pikachu, so I should probably watch these two like back to back and just be like, okay, there you go. This is my childhood, I guess. All right, so I guess for the things I've been doing, Dreams came out. It came out, I think, like last week, and you know they updated a bunch of things. I didn't really mess around with the new updates for like the dream creating and stuff like that. I mostly wanted to focus on like the story mode they added, or like story level. It's really only like a 2-hour like sort of like level they did. And at first I was a little disappointed because, you know, the Little Big Planet games had like pretty long campaigns and stuff like that. Like, you know, I mean, it was like a 2D platformer, so there was a bunch of things it could do. For Dreams, I didn't know what the hell the story mode was going to be. I'm like, okay, let's just get into this and see what it is. And basically it was just like a whole, like, basically like a super interactive movie with like some little platforming elements and like point and click stuff, a lot of music and stuff like that. And it all flowed very well. And it sort of showed me like what Dreams could really be if like someone has way too much time on their hands. It's like just to make this like totally unique experience that like never really like experienced before. It's really hard to explain just because it really seamlessly goes through like, here you're playing like a cutesy little platformer, and then it goes back into like what the actual plot is, because like metaphors and crap. So I'm like, it was really smart, like how the whole thing was crafted, and the story itself, like it really felt like a good Pixar movie. Like honestly, it felt like the best Pixar movie I've seen in the past few years, just because, even though it's not Pixar, because you know Pixar kind of wasn't that great lately. At least I don't think anyway. I haven't watched Toy Story 4 yet, but this really gets to the heart, and like there's like just a lot of good things in it, and I really love it. It's hard to explain, but you know, Dreams is just such a weird game to explain anyway, where it's just like you just gotta play it for yourself. It's hard to explain, but what they try to do, I think they really showed what you could do with the creation tools and stuff like that, which is why they even made this thing to begin with. Is like, hey, we're going to show you what you can really do with the engine and hear what it is. So I'm excited to see what other people make in this thing, because, you know, I think it will have a bright future, because they're already doing a PS5 port, so that would be interesting to see how, you know, it evolves throughout the generations, hopefully. Hopefully it doesn't die, because, you know, the game is a lot more intimidating than Little Big Planet, since, you know, Little Big Planet was just like a 2D side-scroller that you could customize. This one's like, it's just like a game engine, so it's a lot, but hopefully people will get it and make some really cool things. But here's something that's a little more simple to explain. We got Ring Fit, and thanks to Kofi here. So Ring Fit was a game that I've seen, you know, when it first came out, I was like, this looks kind of stupid, until I saw people play it. So I saw people playing it. I'm like, this actually looks like a lot of fun. And it's been kind of on the back of my mind to like get it at some point. And then when all you guys start playing it, and Kobe is just like, I'm just going to give it to him. I'm like, all right. So I tried it for about like an hour. I need to play more of it, but, you know, it makes you tired. Yeah. And yeah, it works, you know, like the thing surprisingly is very good. It really gets you up and moving. I love the two sort of like, you know, you have like the little runny parts where you like do the various little obstacle course. Mm-hmm. And then you go into like a battle, quote unquote, where you're basically just doing like reps of like different things. So like, work on different parts of your body. And it flows really well in like a really fun way. You know, sometimes Nintendo could be hit and miss with these sort of crazy ideas. Like, I wasn't a big fan of the Labo. I thought that was pretty stupid. But when they hit gold, I think they do really well, like with the Switch and now with this. Like, I think they found like a really cool little niche here with like making like workout like super fun. And it's like, you know, you don't have to gamify workout to make it fun, but I think it is a good way to like just to get you up and moving. Just like, even if it's not the most effective way to do it, you're having fun and you're like losing weight. So I'm like, it's a really good way to like just lose weight. You know what I mean? It's hard to explain to you, but it's a fun game. Like it's a fun game and it gets you moving and it's really good. It wasn't something I really thought would be anything, but a lot of people really took to it. So hopefully Nintendo does more with it. I don't know if it actually sold well or not. Actually, these things are always kind of hard to sell because you have to buy the whole thing. Like you have to buy the Ring Con and the game together. Same thing with Labos. Like I get the stupid cardboard because then you won't really have the thing. So hopefully they do maybe like I don't know DLCs with different like things or something because I don't know there's a lot of potential here and I think Nintendo really found a cool thing here. I'm always down to like crap on Nintendo when they do something stupid, but this was a stupid thing that ended up working, so that's great.
Yeah, the thing with Labos or the thing with Ring Fit, I should say XD. I like use it in a way that's like, all right, if I go to the gym, I'll try to do it at night, but if I don't go to the gym, I kind of like force myself to like either do that or like some sort of like exercising before I go to bed because like Ring Fit actually does like give me like a light sweat after I'm done with like a level or two sort of thing, and like if you only can do one level, like that's fine. Like you should never like push yourself too hard because like man, sometimes when I'm playing goddamn Ring Fit, I'm just like, holy shit, I'm fucking tired.
Yeah, it's good to balance yourself because I mean the game makes it easy. Like it gives you a bunch of like difficulty things and stuff. Like it really wants you to set your own pace, and you shouldn't be ashamed to like go to like baby mode or whatever for a little bit if you're really tired, or just to stop entirely because it could get you. So, but yeah, overall I think it's great and it's probably something I'm going to be doing consistently probably because it's fun and it's a good way to lose weight. So yeah. Good job, Nintendo. You did it. You did a weird thing to actually like.
Nice.
So, yeah. So, another thing, I want to play this for a little bit, is DK64. So, this was a game I actually never played, and thank you, Travis, for getting me as well.
No problem.
I played it with the HDMI thing is really good, too, for the N64. And it actually does look pretty good with it. But with DK64, I actually never played this before, like, ever. I don't even know if it was on like the Wii Virtual Console. I'm not sure if it was or not. I don't think it was.
I don't think so.
Because it was rare.
Yeah, so there were probably some like complications getting that.
And I don't think it was in the Rare Replay either because Microsoft and Donkey. So this is like a really like hard game to really just like play. So I didn't get to play much of it. I just like started a new game and there was like an old save file there, so I just went to like just see how the game is. And yeah, the game controls really well. It's about what you expect for like a Rare 3D platformer. Like it plays like Banjo-Kazooie and stuff like that. I really like Diddy Kong because that guy had Diddy Kong unlocked, and I like playing as him. Donkey Kong's fun too because you keep doing like the kick thing and just move forward. I could already tell it already has like a lot of the same problems people have with Banjo-Tooie, where the game is just too big and there's too many things to collect. Like this game would really do well with like a nice like and like Insane Trilogy or Reignited Trilogy sort of remaster, just to give it a bunch of quality of life improvements. Like a map would be fantastic since the levels could use it, since there's just so much to collect and things like that. Have it clear what you need to collect and things like that, since this game is notorious for having way too many collectibles, since you have to collect everything like 5 times because every character has their own like separate like collections and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to actually go more into it because I love Rare, I love Banjo-Kazooie and Tooie, Conquer as well, but that's sort of its own thing. So yeah, I'm looking forward to playing more Donkey Kong 64. As I always like playing it authentically. I played like Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time authentically on my N64, so yeah, it's always nice to do that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to playing more of that. And the thing that's been eating up like basically all my time is in Final Fantasy 14 since they released a new patch a week ago. I won't talk about it too much because I praise this game way too much because I love it to death. But yeah, basically the new story and stuff like that was fantastic. It really had a lot of good revelations. The new raid was great. A lot of remixes of old bosses from A Realm Reborn, which was like the first before the other expansions came out. So it was fun to see like remixes of old bosses with new mechanics and things like that with remix music. It's great. And after just playing Final Fantasy VII, one of the new like sort of trials, which is like sort of like a single raid boss, was Ruby Weapon, which was a super boss in 7. So it was really cool to see how they put like his moves into this game. It was really nice after playing 7. This is good fan service. But yeah, 14, fantastic game. I won't drag on too much about it, but I love it. So everyone should play it. It's great.
Okay, so now let's get into My Hero Academia Heroes Rising. So did you see it like last night or?
Yeah, I saw it yesterday afternoon. I saw it.
Okay, all right. So I also saw it late last night, sort of thing. We're gonna go into spoilers because actually we'll do no spoilers like real quick, and then we'll just spoil everything, which pretty much is like the third act. So like overall, like my opinion on the movie is that it's better than the first one, which was called Two Heroes or something like that. Yeah. So when I watched that one, I watched it on Blu-ray and like in my home sort of thing, and I was like, yeah, you know, like this is like a fun like little My Hero movie. You know, it doesn't like do anything like too drastic to like, you know, shake things up, because you know it's sort of canon but not really, because like they just, you know, undo everything at the end sort of thing, or like they explain it in a way that like it doesn't really matter at the end. But you know, it was enjoyable. I liked it. And then when it came to this movie, like I was enjoying it a lot more, and I was having a really, really good time with it until the third act, and I was just like, what the fuck's going on? But that kind of ruined the movie for me. Like I'm not gonna lie, like everything else about the movie was like super duper good, and I was really enjoying myself. Some people say that like the pacing's too fast and this like that, but like personally I thought it was fine. But you know, when it came to like that part in the third act, I was just like, this is bad. So
yeah, I mean I felt exactly the same way. Like, you know, I thought the first movie was, I mean, I had a good time watching it because it was a really packed theater when I watched the first movie. So, you know, everyone was just getting hyped when things were happening. So I think I liked it more than I should. But looking back at it, yeah, the first movie, you know, it was okay. You know, it's just a really standard anime movie. Sort of like Dragon Ball Z movies where things happen, but it doesn't really matter. It's just, that was cool little fights and things like that, but whatever. This movie, I like this movie a lot more than the first one because it feels like it has more, like it could, well, I don't know. It just depends on what, again, with the last act. If what they do and if it's actually important later, then it will have more implications for like the actual show to like do some cool things. If not, then it's just like, oh, so it is kind of pointless. But yeah, like the last act, you know, it wasn't great in terms of that one thing that happened. But I still enjoyed the movie a lot. Like, I don't think it ruined it as much. It's a common complaint though that like that last part kind of ruined it for a lot of people. But I still enjoyed it. I really like how all the class members really got to do things in this one. You know, like because you know in the latest season of the anime, you don't really see a lot of UA. It's mostly just Deku. So it's nice to see everyone like actually fight and stuff like that, and not just like the big boys. Like, you know, Todoroki, Bakugo, and Deku always fight. So it's nice to see everyone else like really use their like powers and stuff like that. So that was fun. Mm-hmm. I feel like the guy got moved away from the formula. Like both movies had the same formula. Like they're both on like a stranded island.
Oh yeah.
Some new characters. Deku teams up with someone else to like fight the bad guy, and usually the bad guy is pretty generic. Like that. Both of these both of the movies have the same problem where the villain's like really uninspired and pretty lame. So like they look cool and they have flashy powers, which is all that really matters, I guess. But like yeah, their motivations are kind of just lame. At least this one has more connections again to like the actual plot, so that's cool. But yeah, overall I liked it a lot though. I liked it a lot more than the first one, and I really liked the first one quite a bit. But you know, just the ending bit might sour it for a lot of people. So
okay, so now we'll get into spoilers. So.
Yeah, so now it's spoiler mode. So if you haven't watched it, go watch it because I think it's still worth watching. But yeah,
or if you don't care, just keep listening.
Yeah.
So all right.
Yeah, go on. You can go on. Yeah.
So the moment when Deku was like, all right, we need to like, this is the only way to win, and like he like held his hand out and he had blood on it, and I was like, all right, I kind of have an idea of what's gonna happen, but I'm not like fully sure if they're gonna do it. And then when it happened, when he transferred One for All to Bakugo, and I was like, holy shit, it's some like Dragon Ball Z moment sort of like crap, and I was like, I'm not sure if I like that in My Hero sort of thing. And then, you know, the fight happens, there's like no like sound or anything like that, you know, you're just supposed to like, you know, appreciate the visual, which like the movie itself, like everything like animation wise was like really, really good, except for like the CG parts, which are always terrible in any
anime.
Yeah. So, But everything else that was like animated 2D, like that looked really, really, really good. But when that moment happened, when like Bakugo like got one for all, I was kind of just like in the moment, like, all right, how are they gonna fucking explain this one? So, you know, the fight plays out, this and that, and then it's just like, oh, he was unconscious, so like the transfer didn't like fully go through. It's a miracle. Me and Kobe just looked at each other like, what the fuck? And like some people next to us were like, what the shit? Like what? Like what was that? And I was like, holy moly. And when he said that it's a miracle, I was fucking laughing in the theater because of how badly they explained it. And throughout the entire movie, you know, it's a My Hero movie. They make a couple jokes here and there. I was like smiling or, you know, like I get it, you know, that's supposed to be funny, haha, but like I'm not like laughing. Bro, when they said he was unconscious, that's why he didn't fully transfer, I was fucking laughing. I was dying. But I didn't like say it. I wasn't like laughing audibly to like ruin other people's experience, obviously. I was legit just laughing to myself because that was so fucking bad. Oh my god.
Yeah, it was really like, I don't know what happened there. Like, and this is sort of my problem I was alluding to before, where it's like they have to keep these movies self-contained. And it's like kind of annoying. Like they should just bite the bullet and say, hey, anime watchers, watch this so it makes sense. Like I don't know why this is such a hard thing. Like the Dragon Ball Super movie is going to do that with Broly, where it's like, you know, you gotta watch the Broly movie or else things won't make sense in the future. They should just do that with My Hero at this point. I feel like it restricts them way too much with things like this, because I think this could have been a really good, like this movie really should have way more development for Bakugo, because I really have a problem with Bakugo's character in general, where I feel like he's just the same dude for like no reason. Like I feel like at this point his character should develop more. And I feel like this would have been a good moment. Like, after he got One for All, he should, like, gave it back to Deku, because he's like, hey, I don't want this shit. Like, I want to beat you with my own power, because that would have been in his character, but also, like, sort of, like, you know, I don't know, it would have just evolved his character a little bit more. But no, instead of just like, no, it was magic. So, like, he just didn't get his stupid One for All. I'm like, why? Like there was, like, no reason why it had to be like that. For, like, no reason. I felt like they just ran out of time and just like, all right, let's just end it like that. I'm like, what?
Yeah. Like, holy moly. That honestly, like, ruined the entire movie for me. Because, like, me and Kofi were walking to my car and I was like, dude, what the fuck? Like, like, I was enjoying myself the entire time, and then that shit happened, and I was like, all right, this is definitely some, like, DBZ shit, and, like, I'm kind of into it, but not really. And then that explanation just, like, put the nail in the coffin that I was just like, yep, third act was trash, and that's why this movie sucks, sort of thing for me. But,
yeah,
like I said, the rest of the movie is, like, fine. Like, I was honestly super duper enjoying myself. Like, I will not take that away from it. It's sort of like when I was, like, thinking about this movie, I was thinking about the fucking Last Jedi, or the Rise of Skywalker, the new Star Wars that just happened. Because that movie, when I first watched it, it was fine all the way up until the third act, where it felt like really shit fan fiction, which is like what this movie in the third act, where Bakugo gets One for All, kind of is. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, it's like, I guess if you go into these movies, I guess you should just expect it to just be like hype mode and not to think about it, because that seems like what they want you to think. It's like, just don't think about it, just like enjoy it. I'm like, okay, I guess, but the explanation was still horrible. It's just like, oh, here, just like, there you go. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, like
that, I still had a good time, but
yeah, same. But like that was not cool. I was like, no, don't give me another shit third act where like it ruins like most of the movie for me. But
yeah, and
it is what it is.
I guess. Yeah, cause My Hero always done a good job of keeping the power levels pretty good. Like, I know some people have problems with like Deku.
Oh yeah.
I feel like most of the time, like, I don't know if you watched the last season, or you know, the one with Overhaul and things like that. But,
yeah, I'm all caught up.
Oh, you're all caught up. Okay, like in this movie, he just used 100%. He couldn't do that by himself. He had Eri to help him do that, because she kept rewinding him to not break all his bones. But in this one, he just went 100% by himself. Like, you can't do that.
Yeah.
So
supposedly,
yeah,
like, there's certain things in this movie that are supposed to be introduced later.
Yeah, apparently this takes place after like season 5. Like, it's like a little bit in the future, but still, I highly doubt Deku could do that yet. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot of things. Like, this movie just threw out everything to go hype levels, and it's great when you're watching it at the moment, but after you think about it, it's like, oh, that wasn't really great when you think about it. But I still had a good time, and I guess all that really matters, because like, My Hero doesn't really have, like, its fight scenes are very like I guess, like, what I'm trying to look for. like precise, I guess. Like the fights in My Hero aren't like super flashy like this most of the time. It's very like direct hits. Like, oh, Deku thinks about it for like 10 seconds and then he goes for like a critical point or whatever, and that's why the fights are hype in like the show.
Yeah.
But in this one they go full anime and I love it, but you know, yeah, it could lead to some weird shit like this. So.
I definitely like the fight with Todoroki and that wolf guy. Like that shit
was... Oh yeah, that was great. I love all the fights all the students were doing. It was great. So
But yeah, I was just like, I can't believe they did that.
Yeah.
That last bit, but I'm gonna stop myself because, holy moly, that was kind of bad. But
yeah,
there's that. I know that I read a article from Polygon that like, they're probably not gonna do any more of these My Hero movies like after this one, because like he was kind of hesitant to do the first one to begin with, and then doing another one he was kind of just like, all right, I guess I'll just like do this thing with Bakugo, which like he had as like the intended like quote unquote finale of like the entire show, which is like, you know, kind of like weird that he would just put this out now sort of thing, because I guess he just doesn't know when My Hero is going to end because it's so successful. So he's just like, all right, I guess I'll just throw this into the world and, you know, just have like all of these like fan artists like draw it on Twitter and like sell prints and stuff like that. So next time I go to a convention, I would not be surprised if I saw all or One for All Bakugo like as a art print or something like that. So
you're gonna see that shit everywhere.
But I'm not like, it was just the explanation that I'm just like so like hung up on, because I'm like, you guys did it, but like you guys didn't do it well enough that I could like be okay with it, sort of thing.
Yeah, like again, I didn't mind him transferring One for All. Like it's still like kind of far fetched and whatever, but I'm like, all right, fine. It's just the explanation where I'm like, okay, that's pretty bad. Like again, it should just been. It would have been so easy too. Like I don't know why they went this route. Like I don't know why. But whatever.
It is what it is. So, is there anything else you have to say, good sir?
No, I think that's everything.
Okay, so. Thank you guys for listening to the Travis and Damian podcast once again. We will see you guys 2 weeks from now with another episode.
See ya.